Hello and welcome to episode 2 of What You've Been Listening to Lately. My name's Nolan and today I'm joined by my three sons, Omar, Diego, and Ruben. And so luckily all three of them like music, so we'll see what they've been listening to lately. So we're going to start with Ruben. Tell us about what you've been listening to lately, your first song.
Um, I've been listening to Race for the Prize by the Flaming Lips. I've been listening to the Flaming Lips for a long time. Um, and I've been trying to collect their albums. But I think their best album is The Soft Bulletin. Came out in 1999. I think their best song off it is the opening track, Race for the Prize. Um, it's they're a pretty underrated band, and not a lot of people know of them, but it's probably the best album from 1999, and I really like it. I listen to it almost every day, and I like the lyrics. And the main guy, Wayne Coyne, he's really good. Um, his voice is a lot different, and he always talks about robots and kind of weird stuff like that.
Okay. Anything else about Flaming Lips or this song specifically?
Um, well, they've been making music since the 80s, and they're still making music to the day, so it's pretty good.
Okay. I don't know Flaming Lips, I don't think. Do you guys, Omar and Diego, do you know Flaming Lips?
I've
Haven't
heard a
heard of
few of
them.
their songs. I like the songs that I've heard by them, but
Okay.
they have a lot of albums. Like you said, they've been making music for a long time, but I haven't
Yeah.
sat down to listen to everything they've done. But I do like them.
Okay. All right, Diego, your first song.
All right, my first song is called Cherry Lips in parentheses Go Baby Go by Garbage. And I think that I was like recommended this song by Spotify. It came up on my like recommended radio. Because I know that the song wasn't released as a single in the US. And it came out in like the year 2000. But I like the beat. I like how the instruments sound together with like kind of like it sounds like a video game kind of beat in the background, like electronic. And the lead singer Shirley Manson, she does a good job.
Okay. I think I've heard of Garbage from the 90s, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I only know Shirley Manson.
Omar, you know Garbage?
Yeah, I know. I've heard of them. I haven't listened.
Okay. Anything else about that song, Diego?
I don't know. Maybe listen to like their album in full, and so there's other like songs I liked on there, but
This,
I like to listen to it like when I walk to school. So
okay. Omar, your first song?
All right. So I made my list in order of what I've been listening to most recently to maybe like a couple days ago. Um, so my number one song is the song I listened to today, is a song I listened to today. Um, Change of the Guard by Kamasi Washington. It's from it's the first track on his 2015 album, The Epic. It's just that. It's a three-part, 3 hour almost long jazz record. And I haven't really like jazz isn't one of my like go-to genres, but I've been listening to a lot of him lately because I don't know, it's different and I think I needed a different like a change of pace from just the usual um 12 song rock records or 10 song pop records that I tend to gravitate to. I think I just needed a change in my life. But I really like it. This song, as well as most of the songs on this album, are about 12 minutes in length, and it's just a lot of long free jazz improvisation. But it's different from his last two self-released albums in a way because they're a little bit more grander, more orchestrated. Um, and kind of spacey a little bit. So it's like spacey jazz, if that's a thing. And I really like it. It's a good song and it's a good album.
Okay. I definitely haven't heard of that one.
I haven't either.
That's the thing about this show is we get to learn different genres and different kind of music too. So, okay, Ruben,
Hmm.
number two.
Um, I like New Order a lot, so I think their best song is Temptation. I think it's the 87 mix, which is 7 minutes. But I like the guitar, and then I like what's his name? Bernard.
Bernard Sumner.
I like Bernard Sumner's voice during it, and like the oohs that he's got during it. Um, I probably listen to the song every day
Hmm.
too. It's always on my play next or something like that.
New Order is definitely one that I used to listen to, so that's
Mm.
always good to hear. New Order mentioned again. Saw them in concert, I think,
I like
twice.
all those songs.
You like a lot of their songs?
Mhm.
Do you know New Order, Diego? You probably
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I know a couple songs,
Yeah,
but I do like when songs have like extended versions, like just to listen to longer, so that way the build up is kind of more like a you get to hear each part of the song before it comes together, you know.
yeah, I agree. Diego, song number two for you.
Number two for me, I'm gonna say I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor by the Arctic Monkeys. I kind of just like that. I've been listening. I like to listen to bands as opposed to like solo artists because it's kind of nice how they're together on a song. Um, and I kind of just like gravitate toward British bands more than American bands,
Hmm.
just because they have more of like that dance rock feel rather than just like solo like one genre, you know. They kind of incorporate that. And so I just like the references to like it references like pop music and it's like you listen to that, but like I do this version instead. So I kind of just like um Alex and the way he writes his music.
Okay. Do y'all know Arctic Monkeys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that song and that album really well. Um, it definitely changed a lot of my perception of indie music just because of how prominent that era that it came out in 2005. It was right when The Strokes and um, what's the other some of the other like Dandy Warhol, those bands were kind of on top again and making um, indie rock sound a lot different, kind of like rawer and kind of rougher. And
Hmm.
I like that song and that album a lot. Yeah.
I think I've heard of the Arctic Monkeys, so that'll give me something to listen to. All right, Omar, your second song?
So my second song is The Innocents by Low, and
Hmm.
Low is one of my favorite bands, and they just there's only one member in the band that's still around doing music because uh, it's Alan Sparhawk, but he does a lot of solo stuff now. He's gonna put out a solo album next week, but this song is from his band Low that he had with his now deceased wife. Low, their album Ones and Sixes that had an anniversary the other day. They drop a lot of albums in September usually, and so September is usually a month when they even made an Instagram post actually the other day, like we dropped a lot of music under Low under that name in the month of September. And there are lots of different songs that stood out to me, but I picked this one just because it's a great representation of what their sound is and why they're so loved by their fan base and regarded by a lot of people in the music world. I remember when Alan's wife Mimi died, a lot of people, I think even Shirley from Garbage and some other people from the bands Pavement and um, Slow Dive, they came together to recognize like how much their sound is, how special it is. And this song is a good example of that. And it's just a great pulse pounding, heart pounding, but quietly done. It's
Hmm.
like a subdued way of like bringing calling to attention and this kind of um, uh, forlorn feel of I don't know um, unity. I guess I don't know. It's almost like a song maybe about them, about him and someone else, maybe his wife, maybe the fans. I don't know. It's kind of like a love song to the fans in a way.
Okay.
But I like them a lot. I like that band. They're not around anymore, but they They have a lot of great albums, a lot of great songs.
All right. I'll have to check those out too. I've heard of that one, but I don't know their music. Okay, Ruben, song number three.
Um, I think Pink Floyd is probably the best uh, rock group ever. So I listen to most of their stuff, even their um, hidden stuff. I like the song. It's called "What's the Deal," and then "What" spelled as WOTS. So
Hmm.
What's the deal?
yeah, like
What's the
What's
deal?
the deal?
Sounds
Yeah.
like a British accent.
yeah, probably.
What's the deal?
Hmm.
But yeah, I like them because it's an underrated Pink Floyd song in their large library of prog rock and stuff like that. But I like it's got a nice acoustic guitar to it, and I like the lyrics. And I think the first time I heard this song, um, I just thought they were kind of more rock, but now I guess they're more. They could be anything really.
Hmm.
So I really like them for that.
Okay. Diego, song number three.
My third song, it's a song by a girl group. They're called the Sugar Babes. It's one word. It's like SUGA Babes, and it's called Freak Like Me, but it's a cover, but the producer mixed it up with a different song by Two Boy Army,
Oh,
Gary Newman.
yeah.
Mm.
So he used their song with Our Friends Electric, and he took that beat and the lyrics from the Freak Like Me song, and then they released it as their single, and it was their first number one in the UK in 2002.
All right.
And so they took it's like originally a song by a lady named Adina Howard, and then they just took the lyrics and mixed it up, and it sounds really cool just because you wouldn't expect it to have like this dystopian beat behind it, but I liked it. It was really successful back in the day. So
All right. Omar, third song.
Um, my song number three is uh, "Gaslight" by Alex Cameron. And he has a lot of albums that are kind of growing on me. When I first listened to his discography a couple years ago when we lived in Corpus Christi, um, I didn't really get it. He's kind of like um, a lot of his songs and are like very sarcastic, um, very caustic, um, aggressive songs, but they're done in like a low key, Heartland rock type way, like Bruce Springsteen or Brandon Flowers, who the latter of whom he's actually collabed with
Hmm.
here and there. On this album, it was actually this album that's on Miami Memory, which just had its anniversary too. I listen to a lot of albums on like I'll recognize the anniversary and I'll give them a listen, especially if I hadn't heard him in a long time. But his album Miami Memory is like a tribute to his partner, actress Jemima Kirk, uh, who's on the show Normal People. And a lot of the songs on there are still kind of like sarcastic and kind of like very self-conscientious of like he's talking about um, like a toxic relationship or a toxic stepfather, but they're done a lot more lushly. And this song is like a love song about gaslighting someone. So it's like a lot of the lyrics are like, I'll be your gaslight, or you can be my gaslight, or use my gaslight. And um, I don't know, it just stuck with me as like a lot of the songs on that album do have stuck with me. Um, there's another song about like doing um, about how someone's not born again. And I went with a little bit more PG rated song for this video, but a lot of the songs on that album are really good, and this song kind of stuck with me just as far as like um, kind of like a song like Every Breath You Take by The Police, where it sounds like it's a love song, but it's actually really toxic
Mm,
when
gotcha.
you look into the lyrics.
Okay.
It's just interesting.
Okay.
Good song.
Number four, Ruben.
Um, I don't listen to a lot of solo people, but I picked David Bowie, and I think his best album is Hunky Dory, even though he looks kind of weird on it. Uh, I like that album, and I think my favorite song on is Life on Mars. Um, and it's good. I like it. It was in that movie Licorice Pizza,
Uh,
the Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Um,
Hmm.
but I like the orchestra in it, and I like his lyrics, and I don't know, it's a different David Bowie song than his other stuff, so I like it a lot.
I, I like David Bowie, but
Mm.
I like different songs, and
Yeah,
he's
it's a good
got
song.
he's got a pretty wide array of different kinds of songs. So
Well, I would say that song actually set the standard for a lot of the songs to come, but
Mm.
that's not necessarily true because he really changed up his style in the 70s a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, every album's different, kind of, isn't it?
Hmm.
Mm.
All right, cool. What about you, Diego?
My like number two spot, um, it's called Bohemian Like You, and it's by the Dandy Warhols. And it's funny because Omar mentioned them when we were talking about the Arctic Monkeys. But I like this song. It came out in 2000, I think, the year 2000, and it got really popular after it was used in like a mobile phone ad in in like the UK or Germany or somewhere in Europe. But I like it because it's got like a cool like guitar like rhythm, and I like the band. I listened to a lot of their discography, and they have some other popular songs that were used in TV shows, and I just like a majority of their albums. I have some of their albums on CD, so they're cool.
Okay, y'all like that one?
I haven't
Do you
heard
know
of
that
that.
one? Omar, do you know that one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the Dandy Warhols as much, but I think Diego's played it for me before
Okay.
in the car or something.
All right. Your number four, Omar?
My number four song is The Universal by Blur. I just listened to that album the other day. And it's funny because Ruben and I had a conversation about this album, The Great Escape, that the song's on. And he's like, yeah, it's probably their worst. But I I don't know, something's always like brought me back to it. It's a very nostalgic album for me because I used to listen to a lot of those songs from that album in school. And as I've grown older, the songs have changed meanings for me. And this song and the music video too are kind of um, reminiscent of the scene in the Stanley Kubrick movie, A Clockwork Orange, that takes place in the milk bar. And there's like very whitened, like humanoid statues and stuff. And those are like the tables that they're drinking milk at. And they're dressed in these white, like jumpsuit type uniforms. And it's kind of like a retro futuristic, sounds like it could be like a 60s big band ballad that plays at the end of time. And so yeah, it kind of sounds like you're having like a slow dance in the future when um, people like the song says um, there's a satellite in every home. And I think in the 90s, when the song came out 29 almost 30 years ago, it was like that's kind of like a kooky idea, but now we have there's a phone, there's a satellite phone, there's our computers, which it's been proven that our devices do spy on us and listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes on different meaning, especially in like this bizarrely beautiful orchestral setting that the song is in. It's like um, it's a nice little song to listen to and also to think about.
What was the name of it again?
The Universal
The Universal.
by, by Blur from their 1995 album The Great Escape.
You like Blur too, right, Diego?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think all three of us
Yep.
do. Yeah.
Okay. What's your fifth song, Ruben?
My fifth song is Good Song by Blur.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Um, this is a good album. It's the album cover is painted by Banksy, the graffiti artist guy.
Oh yeah.
but I really like the album. Even though it was during their kind of their breakup, or their guitarist left. But I think it's a really good album. And I like this. I think it's the best song on the album. And I think Blur is probably one of the best bands from the '90s. And I think they're the best Britpop band. But I really like the song because I like the intro, the like kind of poppy guitar, or I don't know what that is, but I really like that. Um, but I think it's a good song that came out from a kind of a somber album where they were kind of growing away from each other. I like it a lot.
Okay. Do you know that one, Diego?
Which album is it from again?
Think Tank.
Think Tank.
Okay. I don't think that's one of the ones I've listened to all the way through, but no, I do agree that they're like one of the best Britpop groups. I like just how vast their discography is, like genre wise.
Okay.
Like
Omar, I
Ruben said, that's probably my least favorite album.
It's very innovative. Yeah.
think that's one of the bands that all three of you kind of like, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Diego, song number five.
Okay. Um, I guess we're saying number five, but this is like my number one song because this is the one I've like listened to the most. Like I think I discovered it. It's like beginning of this year, but I still listen to it on repeat a lot. It's called Some Girls by Rachel Stevens, and she's from England as well. Um, she only had two albums. This one's from her second album. It's called Come and Get It, but I like this song just because the beat is
Oh, he froze up. Mm,
um,
You kind of froze.
this song.
Go
Huh?
back. You kind of froze up, so go back maybe.
Um,
Yeah, tell us about the song.
okay, so the song basically it's like the beat's kind of weird the first time you listen to it, but the more you listen to it, the more you kind of get it. It's kind of just it's tongue in cheek. It's very kind of like talking about the music industry and how female singers have to like mm, don't
Read.
eat fair treatment compared to this, but it's kind of about how they have to work their way to the top and they'll do anything it takes to get there.
Gotcha.
I like it. It's a fun and um I don't know. I just been on repeat every day basically.
Okay. Omar, your fifth one?
My number five song is by uh, it's called 2006 by Tracy Ann and Danny, and that is a duo that was started by the front woman of the Scottish indie band Camera Obscura, and so that her name's Tracy Ann Campbell, and she had a short little super duo with Danny Coughlin, who's another singer that she's recorded with,
Hmm.
and they have an album, a collab album called Tracy Ann and Danny. And I was listening to a lot of Camera Obscura last week. Um, they have a couple notable indie records that kind of um, are reminiscent of like Yodel Tango and the New Pornographers, and even more recent stuff like Always and um, Tennis. Some of those like indie pop balladry, like indie rock, like low key stuff. They have stuff that sounds like Beach Boys, and they have stuff that sounds like Yellow Tango. Um, but there have been so many like publications and attention given to the albums put out by Tracy and her band Camera Obscura that I actually had a lot more thoughts about this album, this little collab album that doesn't really get that much attention. And the song on there that I like was called Trick 2006, and it opens with um, "We fell in love in 2006," and it's this long. It's almost like you're reading like someone's journal entry like in a pawn shop, like a little pawn shop in a little quaint little area of town, where someone has their journal or old diaries there, and you're kind of reading into um, how someone has fallen in love. I actually have done that with my parents. I read their journal or read my mom's journal
Yeah.
a long time ago about their love story. And this song also mentions Salt Lake City in it.
Oh,
So I thought that was a
interesting.
cute little touch for a band that's from Scotland. And they have a couple songs that talk about going to America, usually when they're on tour.
Okay.
Um, and this is one that mentions a couple little cities and a couple of the little journeys that these two lovers have taken together. And it's a good little ballad. I definitely recommend um, people check out this band. They're from Glasgow, so their accents are pretty pronounceable in the and the slang, the Scottish slang, but it's hard to notice over the fact that it's just like if you introduced like some New Jersey indie bands like Real Estate or something like that to Scots, and they're a good band. I like a lot of their stuff, but I like this song by Tracy and Danny.
Okay. Well, I think that we've given people now 15 songs that they can check out if they have an interest in learning some new songs, new music to listen to. So I really appreciate Ruben coming upstairs and joining me, and the two of you joining from college. So I thought that was pretty neat that we could have all three of our boys together on one episode. So thank you for
Yeah.
joining. And for you, the listener, thank you and for watching. Certainly, you can feel free to make comments, and we're waiting for you to do your episode of what you've been listening to lately. So reach out to me, and we'll make time to get you on so we can learn about what you like in music and what you've been listening to. So, all right, well, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.